Why do you need this mikvah that I am proclaiming for repentance and cleanliness? Jesus' response is that righteousness must be fulfilled. He is going into this river, taking on the sense of history of the Jewish people, the sense of mikvah, not simply for repentance of sin, but for the immersion and the breaking forth of God's promise in a new way, of God's formation of the people in this time and place in the midst of despair, of God's calling forth a promise that leads into the future. And so Jesus, with John's consent, goes down into the water. He's baptized. He does his mikvah. And when he comes back up from this immersion, Jesus looks to the heavens and sees the heavens parting. Jesus looks to the heavens, and to him there comes, like a dove, God alighting upon him. To Jesus, there comes a voice that says, "This is my beloved, my Son, with whom I am well pleased." Now I want to pause for one moment, because oftentimes we bring together both Luke and Matthew and read them simultaneously in our minds. And in Luke, the whole community sees this happen and celebrates with Jesus. In Matthew, Jesus is the one who sees and experiences this. So in some ways, there is this very individualistic journey that is captured in history that comes into this moment, where he is declared a beloved, a son of God, a holy one, to chart a new course with and for the people. This is a point of great excitement and wonder. It is something that propels us across the ages, that in the midst of our despair and our wondering, as we look at a mounting deficit, as we look at environmental concerns that seem to grow multiple times every day, as we hear news of abuse, as we struggle with what it means to be a mortal and our own mortality, as we look at what it means to be faithful as a spouse, partner, as a parent, as a teenager trying to listen to our parents, as someone who's simply offering your life and saying, "What is my purpose? What am I called to do?" Really. That in the midst of questions, in the midst of brokenness, in the midst of wondering, there is one who continues to take our hand and say that I journey with you. I lay claim in the midst of your life to say that that voice of God continues to sound. You are a beloved child, an anointed. You are one who is loved by God and called in and through your mikvah, in and through your baptism, to both be formed and to be equipped and to be renewed to do and be about a new thing. That God's actions did not stop with the creation. God's actions did not stop after crossing the Reed Sea with the people. God's actions did not stop after the River Jordan or after the exile or even after Jesus' baptism, but continue to move us on into the future. And that you, O people of God, are to dwell in that promise. That we, O people of God, are called to live in profound, incredible new ways. So as we come today, what does this mikvah, this baptism, mean for us? What does it mean when we come to the font and we hear those words? You are a beloved child of God. Some of us perhaps wince a little bit, thinking, I'm not so worthy. response is, you don't have to be. It's about God for and with you. Some of us wonder what it means to come to the font and to hear those words, beloved children of God, and immediately go to the place of, well, now what do I have to do? God's done the work for our salvation, our healing, and now equips us to live faithfully in this world. Not that we get lost or let it all go, but that we might be formed and might bring a forming of God's own desire into this world, that we might touch the hearts and the minds of others, to take on the healing of the nation with and alongside this one who claims us in love, that we might be renewed and sent forth to live in a profound new way. As you walk past the font, touch it. Put your hands in the water. Mark yourself with the cross of Christ and hear that you are a beloved child of God. That you are renewed and formed and equipped. And then you are sent out to be a little Christ. A little sign of light breaking into the world. That you are called to dwell richly in the promise of this one who continues to do a new thing. And for that we get excited. And we grab our bags and we grab our keys and we announce to the world, the water, it's breaking. It's time to go. Get your coat. We're on our way. Thanks be to God for that new birth in our lives and in the world.